Jai Baba all. Welcome to the meeting of today's Eruch's special remembrance. And I have created, one slide with the links for 4 videos and readings. So we will all take part and we will choose a topic and then we'll go through it. Okay. Oh, I see we 6 of us. And Mihal, Eugene, I can count on you both to read when it comes to read.
Yes, no problem.
Thank you, Mihal. Ralph just joined. We'll give 1 or 2 more minutes. There is one reading from Beloved Archives, which I have to read from my copy I have. Rest of the readings are clickable links. Yeah. You think we should start here now? Mihal or
Yes.
you? Yeah, okay. So first I would like us to go through a reading. Early days after Baba dropped his body, I found this article. Okay, you see the text okay, Mihal?
No, it's little. It has to be bigger.
It has to be bigger.
Yeah, better. Much better.
Can you start us on this?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, thank you.
You want me to read?
Yeah, please read this. Yeah.
Okay. Avatar Meher Baba Kiche. Avatar Meher Baba, the Eternal Shepherd. On January 31st, 1969, Avatar Meher Baba, God in human form, dropped his physical form. Even though, in hindsight, Meher Baba had given hints to his close disciples, Mandali, that he would leave his body, they were surprised and grief-stricken. This article was written on January 27, 2023, and it comes from Meherabad. This story below takes place soon after Meher Baba dropped his body, and the Mandali were dealing with a heartache. Mani S. Irani is Meher Baba's sister. Eruch Jessawala was one of Meher Baba's closest disciples and served him every day, often as an interpreter of Baba's hand gestures. Meherajad Irani was Meher Baba's closest female disciple, whom he described as the purest soul in the universe. The author, Heather Nadell, had been a resident volunteer in India since 1974 and worked closely with Meher Baba's sister Mani. Heather wrote The Joyous Path, a 2-volume set on the life of Mani, from which this story is reprinted. And we can see Baba hugging a goat, and Baba is so sweet, and the goat is totally white and very, very little one. It's sweet. And the caption for the photo is Avatar Meher Baba holding a baby goat in 1939. Photo taken in Alwar, India. Colorized Meherazad publication used with permission. So the story by Heather Nadell goes like this. Eruch told me once that Mani was very affected by the dropping of Baba's body, that this grief was very deep-rooted in her. She was in a kind of shock. He could see it. She was distracted, struggling to cope with Mera's loss and her own, and with the need to adjust to the whole unknown, wide open, unprotected world they suddenly found themselves in, fighting fires right and left. And in the photo, we see Mani holding Mera's right hand, supporting her while they're walking from the samadhi, with, I think it's Naja on the left. And the caption says, and Mera looks very grief-stricken, and they all looks very serious. Oh, I don't think it's, I think it's Mero. I think it's Eruch's sister. Let's see. Manias Irani, Mera Irani, and Manu Jessawala, yes, Eruch's sister, at Avatar Meherabad's tomb shrine in Upper Meherabad, India, February 7, February 7.
It's February 1 to 7.
1 to 7. Yeah, these are the days that they were, Baba was in the open crypt. 1969. In the days after Meher Baba dropped his body on January 31st, 1969. Photo taken by Milan, Meher Baba's NASA publication, used with permission. Eruch was worried about money, as he shared in the Mandali Hall. Well, the simple thing is that those days were days of great pain, despair. What Baba had said, that I am not this body that you see, that this is not what I am. It is just my coat. It's just my coat that I put on reality. It's just my coat. I put on reality to veil my reality. But we were so used to the coat that we forgot the reality. So when the coat was dropped, the coat means the body of Baba, when the coat was dropped, well, as we started missing the coat, you see, we didn't care for the substance that was being veiled by the coat. Well, it is a human frailty. What can you say? That's how we are, all of us, until we are blessed by Him. We begin to miss His presence, the so-called presence of the coat. But we carried on. We had to do our duty. Our responsibilities were there. We had to face them, not to shirk, because Baba wouldn't like it. We knew that, so we continued with our day-to-day chores. And there's a photo of Eruch and Merwan Jessawala at the Samadhi at these days when Baba was in the crypt with the open crypt, and there's pandal cloths on top so people can be shaded from the sun. Merwan and Eruch Jessawala with Avatar Meher Baba's tomb shrine in the background. Photo was taken in Upper Meherabad, India in February 1969, in the days after Meher Baba dropped his body on January 31st. Meher NASA publication used with permission. Soon after we returned from Meherabad, after Baba's interment, I felt somehow or other that it was not good if the women Mandali were to carry on like that in their grief. It was telling too much on their mind, heart, and body. I had experienced their grief when we were there on Meherabad Hill. We were all there with his body at his tomb shrine. We were there for more than 10 days, I think, 12 days altogether. So I noticed how it was telling upon them in all respects. When we returned here to Meherazad, the only contact I had was with Mani. With Mani, Goher, Rano, and sometimes Meru would come. I found Mani was being affected literally, and I thought, this is not good. So much responsibility is on her now. I was thinking something must be done. Should we take them out for a change? Something like that? Go on an outing? Something should be done. Then one evening, after they had returned to Meherazad after the 1969 darshan at Guru Prasad in Pune, Mani suddenly remembered some documents that Eruch had asked her for, as Mani tells it. So I hurriedly looked for the documents, found them, and walked briskly over towards Eruch's room. I found him outside his room, and I could hear from the splashing of water that he was washing his face. "Oh, Eruch," I said, "I brought the documents you wanted." He didn't say a word. He stood up, wiped his face with a towel hanging outside his cabin, and then, instead of coming towards me to take the documents, he turned away and walked towards the fields adjoining Meherazad. And we see a picture of Mani much later where she's very happy and smiling. Mani Asirani in the 1990s, sharing stories of her life with Meher Baba. She is in Mandali Hall, Meherazad, India, talking to pilgrims. Photo Sam Irvin. So she saw Eruch turn away and walk towards the field adjoining Meherazad. And he said, "Follow me." Now, what's this queer thing Eruch is doing? Follow him? I followed him, wondering what was the matter. He came to the field and stood facing it, and I stood beside him. "Can you hear?" he said. I haven't very sharp hearing, but I heard. What I heard was a sound of sheep restlessly calling out, "Ba, ba, ba, ba." I realized that the shepherd had done what they often do. They leave their sheep for the night on the field, which is allowed because the sheep provide manure for the farmer who owns the land. But to protect the sheep for the night, the shepherds put a little cordon of thorny branches around them. "Yes, yes, I can hear," I said. "Can you see?" And I looked hard. I could see a bit of white here and there because the sheep were moving about. So I said, "Yes, I can see the sheep. They're moving around." "No, no, no, to the left. Can you see?" To the left? What was there to see? It's a field. Then suddenly my eyes made out a form darker than the darkness of the evening. And I said to myself, "What's that big rock doing in the field?" The contour of the shape was like a rock. Can you scroll, please? So we see Baba sending a kiss to a goat that is standing right before him, which is very sweet. Avatar Meher Baba feeding a goat, photographed by Mani Asirani in 1935, when they were staying at the ashram in Nasik, India. Meherazad publication, used with permission. Eruch said, "Now, can you see?" I said, "Yes." And then suddenly I realized it was not a rock. It was a person. It was the shepherd sitting there, huddled in his homespun blanket over him, settled for the night, unmoving, looking straight at the sheep. Eruch said, "You see, the sheep think their shepherd has deserted them. The flock think the shepherd has gone because it is dark and they can't see him. So they call out to him and they're looking for him and they are confused and staring about. But he has his eyes on them. He sits there without moving, looking at them, looking after them. His whole attention is on them. And he will be like that through the night of darkness. When the dawn comes, they will know that their shepherd has never left them, that he was with them all the time. And that was such a help, such a healing, such a comfort. I'll never forget it. That too Baba provided. It made such a difference. And I said, Yes, Baba, I know you are here. And because it is dark, we cannot see you. We may feel that you have left, but you haven't. You're right here. And when the dawn comes, we will know that you have always been here. So even when we cannot see him, he is here. And now we're seeing Baba standing on the platform that used to be next to the Samadhi. And he is waving with his hand and looking very happy and very elegant. Avatar Meherabad, his tomb shrine, also known as the Samadhi, in Upper Meherabad, India, September 1954. That's 3 incredible weeks. Photographed by Pandey. Source, Heather Nadell, The Joyesh Path, The Life of Avatar Meherabad's Sister, Mani, Volume 2, Myrtle Beach Area Foundation, pages so and so. Thank you, Wayne Mayer, for suggesting this story and photos.
Hey, Baba.
Thank you. It's a very
So I
nice.
thought Eruch did the perfect brotherly help there, for money.
Not only for money, but for all of them, because then they all got the story and got the gist of the idea.
Yeah,
And Eruch too, because you understand why he was washing his face, because it made him cry, probably.
yeah,
And so when she was coming, he was washing his face and he didn't say anything. I think he couldn't even speak. He just turned around and went to the field and she followed him.
yeah. Let me restart the share. We will now follow that reading. Thank you, Mihal, with a video.
Mm.
So I found one video. Um, it's about Eruch narrating events that related to Baba's declaration of avatarhood. And it's in the CD called Journey with God. And I will just um, pull the time to match with Eruch's part in that. It will be 10-minute long. And Eruch, the storyteller he is, will tell us about a special boy in Andhra tour. So you don't have sound, or it's not?
No, we don't have sound. But the picture of Baba is very beautiful here.
Let me try it other way.
Mm.
I heard something when you tapped pause. Was that you?
Yeah, I think it will start now. But I need to make it big. Okay. But won't start like that. Need to start it from here again. Okay, let me start playing. Okay. Yeah.
Is a treasure of great wealth.
In his second Andhra visit, Baba publicly, openly, categorically, with divine honesty, said, "Whatever you may say, I am the same ancient one." But this publicly telling the people began in this very year, 54, in Hamirpur on 10th February 1954.
Yeah, I remember that night very well. Yeah. Baba is made to stay at a place called Meherabad. It's a remote village, and there's a hillock. It's a hilly place. It's a forest area, but in the forest area there is a hill, and on the hill there was naturally Baba was such a personality that these people in the remote villages they did not know how to receive him, so they had constructed a special hut for him to receive because their hovels are such that they feel that it is below Baba's dignity to step inside and all that sort of thing is there. Human hearts are there, minds are there. So they had constructed a special hut for him. And Baba was staying there and there are daily programs there. He was there for about 3 or 4 days, I think. I forget the number of days. But it was a longer stay. So that's how he was. And that night, Baba said that we'll have a good program, music program here. So people have gathered from neighboring villages and from that particular village and the neighboring villages and all that. And they are all seated there and having a good time. So music has started about 8 o'clock after dinner. And then Kawali programs are there and Baba is enjoying. There are no electric lights and just lanterns are there and pressure lamps are there. And it's a lighted area and all that. But not as electricity would help us to have the brightness. So the music was going on and all that, and Baba would sometimes stop them from playing the music and explain the lines and give the deeper meanings and all that. To our utter surprise, while the man was singing, the kawal was singing, Baba signaled to me and told him to stop. So, stop. So he dictates to me, and Baba says, speak out loudly. So I read the dictation, and the dictation was, Hail Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Means Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. So I spoke out loudly, Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai, for the first time. And there was a resounding response to it. And there was silence, total silence. And then Baba said, I am the one who has come in your midst once again. The one that brings the ancient message. Love me. Love God. I am God in human form. That's what he said. So that was the thing. And from that time onwards, it went on and on and on and on. For the first time, publicly, he declared in a remote village as to who he is. But it was the effect there at that time, in that night was surcharged with Baba's presence and him being the ancient one, the avatar. Now, it's the second time that we are going now in 54. And he goes from place to place, telling to people that I am the same ancient one come in your midst once again, bringing the same ancient message, love. And after a pause of a split second, he said, love me because I'm God in human form. People come to give their addresses and speak out their heart. Who is in your midst? They welcome him. People from different walks of life. You know, wherever you go, in any town, city and all that, there are these political parties are there. Men of different concepts and opinions are there. From the poorest to the poor, from the richest, parliamentarians, ordinary laborers and all that. One great thing I noticed was how a person get all of them together on a platform filled with love. They forget their differences of opinion, they forget their oppositions and all that sort of thing. And they are with one heart, put their hands there to work and create some atmosphere of great love and concord and harmony. That I found in him. Although it may be for that day or for that hour, but that's a great achievement. Without any payment, cash, without saying a word because he was silent, without doing anything. His presence was such that created that harmonious effect. All castes, creeds, and nationalities with different languages are all there. No distinction. There's no such thing as he caste or that sect. Of all colors, creeds, and everything. Highest of the high and lowest of the low are all there in the sea of humanity. We were surprised with this. Baba is made to rest at some places, in the house of a certain person and all that. So I still remember it was morning time after a little breakfast and tea, and we are there all gathered before going down for the darshan program. And there are children, there are women and all that. So one, he must have been about 6 or 7 like that. So he could hardly go up and do this, and he crawled over the bed there. And of course, I tried to get him out. Let me. So he climbed over there. I thought that, well, he's wanting to press Baba's feet or something he's going to do. But he stands up on that bed there. And then looks at Baba and then turns to the families around. And then in his language, vernacular language, he started telling people, he couldn't follow what he said, but addressing as if he is a great lecturer, with all the gestures and all that. Do you know who he is? How blessed we are that he has come in our midst and this and that. This is what I had followed through the translations. You have no idea of the blessings, what a blessed day it is to have him in this house and to be in our midst like that. And he went on and on and on and on. And Baba is looking at him, admiring him and all that sort of thing. And then he gave a little dance, you see, and he sang songs and all of that. Who told him? Who inspired him? It was spontaneous. What soul he must be, we don't know. At Andhra,
So that's Eruch taking us through the Hamirpur and Andhra tour of 1954 when Baba declared his avatar tour. I found that very rare and nice to read back.
We can't see you, Meher.
Yeah.
Hi.
Okay, I thought that's apt. Like to see him speak, Eruch, and the most precious I found is him saying first time how he said Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Now we will continue. We see more participants. So I will tell what I did here is collected few works mainly centered around Eruch, some videos and some text, and we will read the text. Uh, and next item I would say is a story of Baba's compassion for the helpless. You know, Eugene, are you willing to read this one?
Sure.
Let me know the text size or more. You want more zoom?
Here's an anecdote remembering the brothers Eruch and Meherwan, Byram Shah Jessawala. Here's an anecdote. Background. These are the early days after Eruch Jessawala dropped his body. Meherwan Jessawala, recalling his elder brother Eruch, narrates a story. The story dates back to the mid 40s, during a period when Eruch was staying with his family in Bindra House in Pune and would frequently be called by Meher Baba to be with him at Meherazad. Meherwan narrates, on one of these visits, a wealthy man came to have Meher Baba's darshan. Before leaving, while bowing down to Meher Baba, the man placed a packet at Meher Baba's feet. What is it? Meher Baba asked. A small token of love offering, the man replied. There is no need for there is no need for it, Baba gestured, and asked him to take it away. But the man insisted that Meher Baba keep it and departed. Meher Baba then told Eruch to take the packet, keep the money, and give it to a deserving person. But how will I find such a person? Eruch asked. Don't worry, Meher Baba assured him. You will know. Meher Baba then washed Eruch's feet with his own hands and bowed down to him. Before you give the packet, Meher Baba instructed him, wash the feet of the one you give it to and bow down to that person, just as I have done to you. Over the years, I often noticed that whenever Meherabad gave Eruch an assignment, Eruch would always be most anxious to execute that work, lest he might die with the work unfinished. Now, in this case, the packet of money and the charge Meherabad had given to him weighed heavily on him. So, when he returned to Pune, he would pay visits to pan and beetle leaf shops, sugar sugar cane juice stalls, and other wayside centers of gossip and small talk, trying to catch word of some needy person matching Mayor Baba's description. One day, while passing by a vendor of sugar cane juice, Erich happened to hear a customer say, I really pity that honest and truthful man. Formerly, he was in such happy circumstances until he was accused by his corrupt seniors under some fabricated charge. He has been completely ruined and now lives in penury. What a plight the poor fellow is in. Erich approached the speaker and asked, Who are you talking about? What is that to you? The man fired back, looking at him suspiciously. Erich replied, My elder brother likes to give help to people who are in dire straits. I think he would be interested in the man you are speaking of. Erich got all the information and immediately set off by bus for the village of Bor, some 40 miles to the southwest of Pune, on the Pune Satara highway. The road to Bor branched off the main road and led across a large dam, the famous Butgur Dam, at that time the largest masonry dam in the world. Reaching the village beyond, Erich inquired and was duly led to a small ramshackle hovel on, on a rundown, filthy bylane. This is the place, he was told. He knocked on the door. A woman opened it. She was very beautiful, but wore a haggard look on her face and was dressed in rags. Where is the man of the house? Erich asked her. He has gone out, she answered, looking very alarmed. Why do you want him? My husband has done no wrong. For Erich, in his khaki clothes, seemed like some official who had come to harass her or her husband in some way. What else would induce a stranger to visit such a remote outpost? Erich tried to pacify her and said that he had come to offer some help to her husband. At that, she said, No, no, please go away, as we will never be able to repay any loan. Erich reassured her on this point and was able to win her confidence. Then she explained to him that her husband was out at work. In fact, he was a toll gate attendant on the very road over the dam that Erich had crossed on the way to the village. He will be coming back home this evening, she said. Very well, Erich answered. I'll return tomorrow, bringing help as I assured you. Will your husband be here then? Ask him not to go before I come and see him. She promised him that he would be there, and Erich departed for Pune. At Bindra House that night, he asked me, Would you like to come with me on a picnic tomorrow at the site of the world's largest dam? Still just a boy at that at the time, this idea was appealing to me. And this is where I came into and became a witness to the rest of the story. That next morning, packed lunch in hand, the two of us caught an early bus to Bor. When we reached the hut, we found the man waiting for us. What can I do for you? He asked. My elder brother sent me, Erich told him. He wishes to give some help in your predicament. I can't accept a loan, the man said. I wouldn't be able to pay it back. There is no question of repayment. This is a gift of love from my elder brother. Please accept it, and he will be obliged to you. But there is a condition, Erich went on. I have to wash your feet and bow down to you. Please allow me to do this so that I may give you this gift. Very reluctantly, the man agreed. Erich washed his feet, bowed down before him, and gave him the packet, which contained quite a substantial sum. The man was rendered stunned and speechless by this whole turn of events. Immediately, Erich turned to me and said, the work is done. Let's go now. But before we had gone more than a few steps back down the road, the man came after us, came running after us. Who are you? He said. Who has given me this gift? It is from my elder brother, Erich answered. It is an expression of love for you and your family. Don't ask any more about it. But did you know, the man went on, that if you had sought for me tomorrow, you would not have found me here? And do you know why not? Do you know what I was planning to do? What is that? This very day I was planning to kill myself, to commit suicide by jumping over the dam wall. I had reached such desperate straits, such a dead end in my life, that there seemed to be no other way out for me. It is thanks to you that I am living on past this day. Don't give your thanks to me, Eric said. Give your thanks to God. Great is his mercy and compassion. All praise to him. With this, Erich and I left quickly and hurried back along the road to the dam. There, as Erich had promised, I got to enjoy a pleasant picnic and outing, and that evening we caught the bus back to Pune. The beauty of this story is that it shows not only Meher Baba's unfathomable compassion for who but God could have arranged in such an indirect and understated way to bring a gift like this in the very nick of time into the hands of a man who so desperately needed it. But at the same time, it depicts Erich's extraordinary obedience and intuitive responsiveness to his wish and will. What an unobstructed channel he was for the flow of Meher Baba's divine life. Indeed, as Baba himself said, Erich was quote unquote matchless. But all this was the effect of Meher Baba's work with him. As Meher so beautifully said at the beginning of this story, what would most please Erich would be if, when we commemorate him, what we remember is the painstaking years of effort that Baba spent in training Eruch so as to bring him up to the standard of what we see today. Jai Meher Baba.
Thank you, Eugene.
Oh, you're welcome. It was a pleasure.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba Meher.
So we'll continue, guys, unless anybody wants to comment, or the way I planned, we can have breaks in between our sharing. So anybody is feeling to say something. This story I found, either I haven't read before, but the specialty is there's a similar story after New Life also. A girl, and then a Diwali event, and nobody. There's only one lamp, and she's silently praying in front of Krishna. That book, I think it's in New Life Tales. That story, but it's again how Eruch scouts the areas and finds people who are unable to express their, helplessness. So that's what I found. This one also a similar story.
Yeah, maybe I can comment a little bit.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons I came to Baba was because I had it put in my head. Very strange idea that I wanted to have more money so I could give more to charity. So yeah, that's a funny way how Baba works, because yeah, I put this in my head and then I start working on it, and then I'm not rich at all, but I mean not in terms of money, but of course I have received much more than money. So it's amazing. Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's
Your
all.
richness to help, and then opportunity to help the right persons. That's planned, I think, by Baba. How the rightful, helpless uh, ones get benefited.
Yeah, if it's the will of God, then you can give. Otherwise, you cannot, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be divine will. And I still have to learn about this a bit more, because sometimes I give and then afterwards, Baba, I have the impression that I didn't give to the right person. So it's very important to give to the right person. Yeah.
Yeah, I seek Baba's guidance. When we go in India, uh, which auto driver should I pick? Who is really in need? And I just want Baba to guide in those decisions also, so that somewhere we can work. But it's hard, like Eruch saying, the training, painless and years long molding of Eruch by Baba, that's what he wanted us to remember, what went behind that. Okay, let's continue. I have one other video
Yeah.
now, the lengthy one. So this one, Baba, Eruch says how to love Baba, the practical way, and it starts with a question: what Baba wants of us.
Mm. Mm.
What does Baba want of us? What would Baba want of us?
Well, the answer to that, according to what I have gathered from Baba, is everything of us, so that we are no more and He alone is. That is, to put succinctly, everything of us: mind, body, thoughts, words, speech, acts, actions, even the very thought of realizing our true self, everything just to be dedicated to Him. But how do we go after this? Baba said. Says the first thing that you begin with is by loving me. I want nothing from you but your love for me, because I am love. and in my God-man's form, I'm love personified. So all what I want from you at this stage, before you give your all, I want your love. And then it so happened that there was somebody, you see, around Baba at the time, and says, but how? How to love you? He says, well, when you fall in love with somebody, did anybody teach you how to fall in love with somebody? She says, no, I just fell in love. He says, well, then you have to fall in love with me. But then, through his compassion, he goes on, you see, dilating upon this theme of how to love me. And he said, it's not a joke to love me, because you will never be able to love me enough as I wish to be loved. For that, you have to make a beginning first. You have to try to please me. Then you'll get the gift of my love. Love is the gift of God to man. Love in its truest sense. Love with a capital L. Love. Love. That's a gift of God to man. And in order to earn the gift, you have to please him. And the things that please him, says, how will you please me? Well, it says, three things please me. Think of things that you will not hesitate to think in my presence. Speak words that you will not hesitate to speak in my presence. Do things and act that you will not hesitate to do and act in my presence. And if you are able to do these three things, you'll please me. That involves constant companionship of Baba, that means. Whether Baba is physically present or not, it's immaterial to the one who is resolved to do these things to please him. That means we must keep his company all the time. So then how will you keep my company, Baba says? Before you think of things that you will not hesitate to think in my presence, you must create my presence. How? By thinking of me. How will you start thinking of me? You make a start then. Just as a child has to make a start in order to learn the alphabets of the language that is to be taught to him. So the tutor or the parents, you see, just make the child begin. How? By repeating that one letter, A or Alif or that is the first letter in the alphabet, time and again, overlapping it once, again and again. So Baba teaches us as to how we should remember him, keep his company. So think of him. He wants us to think of him again and again. And the ways to think of him is to begin with. Have a picture of Baba. Till such time, he gets himself established in your own heart. There are people who ridicule others who display Baba's buttons on the chests or have pictures in their homes or are fascinated by different pictures of Baba or a collection of album of Baba pictures. But that's not the right spirit, Baba says. Never ridicule anybody. Continue to think of me in the beginning by making a beginning with having Baba buttons around you, Baba pictures around you. You have to have his pictures in every room, you see. In your bedroom, in your sitting room, in the kitchen, in the toilet. You take a bath there, you have his pictures so that at least you are trained and disciplined. Means your mind is trained and disciplined to keep constant company, at least through these artificial means. Howsoever artificial they seem to be to a philosopher, to a person who is well versed in metaphysics, but it's a beginning to be made by a layman. And this has been told to us by the God-man himself. So we take it as the very foundation as to how we should continue to think of him, by making a beginning with the pictures. Then we have these pictures, you see. Then among these pictures, there's a favorite picture that one likes. So he would like to hold that picture as his treasure and keeps it all the time in his pocket or in his wallet or in his suitcase or near his bed and all that, and thinks of it. That picture, so to say, is carried in his mind's eye all the time. And the other pictures around him remind him of his physical presence. It all sounds so childish, but this very childishness takes you a long way to become childlike. And all what he wants is to become childlike. And this helps you. Then Baba says, with these little hints, you see, that he gives about your wanting to be in my presence, thinking about me, thinking of me, what you should do is, after this, naturally you'll come across people, you see, who have met Baba, who have been with Baba. Keep company of these people. Talk about him. Ask from them how he would be pleased with one, what he wanted of us, how we should remember him, how we should think of him, how he would love humanity. What did he do? What work he did? So gather all these information. So time and again you'll be reminded about him. While you are in the company of such people, or whether you are away from them, you'll be thinking about Baba in many different ways. What food did he like? Did he sleep? Did he snore? Did he have to go to toilet being the God-man? So these are the things, are very essential things. They really seem to be very childish, but they help you to become childlike. And then Baba says, when you happen to get yourself well established in the ways of the God-man, then what happens? Then you need not go in search or hunting after people who have lived with him and all that. Then you naturally are you're filled with so much information about Baba, you'd like to share with others. Then what happens? You share with others. And in your sharing with others, what do? You again bring Baba by your side. And that's how you continue to think of Baba. But this is a better way of thinking, by sharing what you have gathered from others to with different people. So that's how you again continue, the process is continuing to think about Baba. How will you do it? This is how you do it. And then what happens? That thinking about Baba, you see, and sharing about Baba, well, there is no end to sharing of Baba, you see, with others. Baba being infinite, you see, and you being limited, well, you have your own lifetime, which is too little. Yeah, to talk about eternity, to talk about infinity, you see. So this helps you time and again, you see, whether it be in this very lifetime or in your next incarnation or incarnation after that, you see, to bring him closer and closer to you and keeping company with him. Then, but if you are so fortunate, if you have been thinking of him to such a degree that a stage comes in your life, Baba says, where there is no need for you to share the treasures that you have with you. They are just being shared by people who sit around you. And a stage does come, you see, when you just remember him in everything. The stage now comes where you glorify him in every little bit, you see. You are thinking about him at the time when you eat your food, with every morsel or every little sip that you take from teacup or from the cold drink that you have. that refreshes you, you glorify Him. How nice is this water! How refreshing is this coolness of the water that He has given us! What a mighty Creator He is! What a beloved Lord He is! That He has given us this. And this glorification begins at a very rudimentary stage, you see, where you glorify the good things that you have around you, you see. Then you are mature in your glorification, and your maturity leads you and tends you to glorify Him. That what a thing that He has given us, to appreciate all what He has given us. And our appreciation then is not about our own self, but about everything that He has bestowed upon humanity on this earth and everywhere in this creation. The stars, the firmament, the gravity of the earth, the very breath that we breathe, the fresh air, the pollution on itself is glorified, because it gives us a feeling, of suffocation and makes us think of Him. Every little thing which humanity would call that it's a bad thing or a good thing, you see, in every little thing, the person who thinks of Baba and begins to glorify Him thinks that it is for the benefit of mankind. Just as I said, you see, even the pollution in the air is beneficial because it makes us think all the more about the purity and the pureness and the freshness of the air that has been given to us by Him. So in this like manner, glorification is extended to a further pitch where there are no more words to glorify Him. He then begins to gaze all around him. He's stupefied with all the benevolence, all the bounties that are showered upon His creatures. When you become that, Baba says, when something chokes you within and you have no more words and no more sight to see anything, it's time for the grace to descend upon you. The grace of what? The gift of His love. When the gift of His love is bestowed upon you, it's easy going. Then you become mad in love with Him, you see. Then you begin to see Him as He really is. And when you see Him as He really is, all that seems to be vanishes. And He alone is. But then still there is the separation between you, the viewer of the beloved, and the beloved. And then there is another stage where His grace depends upon you, and you become one with Him through His grace. So Baba says, when you become childlike, then you are closer to me. And then my grace of love descends upon you. And Baba says, this is all what He wants from us. In the beginning, to love Him. And how to love Him, He has given us this. Now, apart from all these things, you see, this is a straight, high road leading on to Him. But then, man is so susceptible to wandering. It's in his nature. There are so many factors that come into play because of the impressions that he has gathered during his long journey from the evolutionary stages to the reincarnationary processes. And these impressions need to be experienced, and therefore it leads him wandering from different places to different places, you see. So while he is thinking about Baba, I am talking only of the aspirants who are longing, craving, dying to become one with Him, to see Him as He really is. Our theme is just that. So in his process to love Him, think of Him, what happens? He is going out and sharing the treasure that he has received. Many things happen to him. And in that process, he would like to do more work about Baba. He thinks that Baba did the work, you see, with the poor. He helped the needy. He helped the downtrodden in society. He visited the hospitals and tended the sick. He would be pleased if I were to visit these places, if I were to do these places. He led his close disciples to the sadhus and saints, to the ashrams of the perfect masters. He went to the Himalayas, you see, and led his close ones there in the quietude of the Himalayan ranges, you see. So we'd like to do that. You see. Why can't we do that? And man tries to imitate him. So Baba has warned us against all these things. And he says, do as I say. Do as I tell you to do. Don't do as I have done. Don't imitate my acts because they are unfathomable. But just obey me. Do exactly as I have told you to do. So all what he wants us is to love and glorify him. Of course, man but has to experience the impressions that are unfolding in him. And in spite of it all, in spite of his being aware of all the injunctions and his wishes, he goes out. He goes out in search of masters. He goes out in search of saints, in company of people, you see, thinking that his advancement would be all the more intensified by visiting the saints, by visiting the yogis, by visiting these masters and all that. But again there Baba comes to the rescue because of his warnings. Says, if you have taken me to be the beloved, it behooves the lover to have one-pointed attention on the beloved himself. For that Baba has given us a nice little figure, he says. He says there was a person who had fallen in love with his beloved. And the beloved always used to keep the lover aloof from him. So Baba tells us the story about the beloved, who kept his lover away from him. And it so happened that after years of separation, the lover was once informed casually by the beloved that, well, the beloved would be pleased to see him. The lover is full of joy. He cannot contain his joy, you see, and he wants to run to the beloved, but the distance separated him. And he is making preparations, you see, to go to him after years of separation. And he is journeying towards the beloved. En route, there are many fascinating sights and distractions. So Baba puts a counter question once to me, by asking me, would that lover want to visit the brothels on his route to the beloved's home? I said, no, it's not possible. Because his one-pointed attention is on the beloved who has now invited him after years of separation. He says, that's how I have been saying to you who love me or would want to love me. I would want you to come direct to me. I wouldn't want you to be distracted by visiting different places when you have determined to come to me. It's ridiculous, but you do not know. So it becomes my responsibility and duty to warn you to come direct to me. And after having taken my love, return directly home. That's how I want you to be. So that's how he has said about what he wanted of us. That was your first question, no?
One question that seems to tie in with that, Eruch, is making a pilgrimage to Baba's tomb.
Well, that was dilated upon by us yesterday, don't you remember?
Yes.
So why don't you replay the tape if you want to?
It seems like it's just a point from there is none like Baba to there is none but Baba.
It is because Baba always has been giving us the figure of his being the root of the huge tree, you see, that is manifest in illusion. He being the root of everything, he being reality, he is the root. And all the manifestations that you have, you see, in creation is nothing but the outcome of his being the reality. So Baba always would want us to catch hold of the root, and you have the whole tree with the fruits and the blossoms and the flowers and the leaves and everything. So it's meaningless to go in for the leaves and for the fruits and for the branches and all that. Once you have the roots in your hand, you have the whole tree, you are the possessor of it.
Tree might come off, the leaf might come off in your hand, and the branch might break, and you might come down with it.
So your next question is what Baba means by holding on to his Daman.
Yes.
First of all, let us understand what that word Daman means. Daman means it's the hem of his robe or a skirt.
Or garment.
Or garment, yeah. The hem of the garment. It's something, the end portion, you may call it, of a robe or a garment. So the figure that Baba gave when he said that we should hold on to his Daman, and hold on, not with just one hand, but with both our hands. So he one day explained to us what he meant by it. The explanation that he gave us was so beautiful. He says it all boiled down to the fact that he wants us to totally depend upon him. And how sweet and comforting it is to depend upon him. He gives us an example for that of a child who is being taken by his mother to a carnival, or the World Fair, you may call it. The child is being taken out there in that crowd. There are so many sights there. It's frightening to the child. At the same time, it makes the child happy too. Frightening in the sense because for the first time the child is being taken out in a crowd there, milling crowd. And the reflex of the child, without the mother wanting him to do anything, is he just holds on to the daman or to the skirt or to the hem of the skirt of his mother. Just that act of his makes him feel so comforted, secure, and he depends upon the mother totally, because he knows as long as he holds on to the skirt of his mother, he's safe and secure. Mother then winds her way through one section of the carnival or the fair or another, and many giant wheels are there and many other distractions are there, and there are people who make speeches, and there are stalls, and a lot of tantalizing ice cream is there, and many things are there. The child is able to enjoy all the sight, all the sound, everything that is there, while feeling completely secure because he has the grip of the mother's skirt there. Likewise, Baba says, this whole world is nothing but a big carnival. And there is the milling crowd around it. There are many distractions on the path. And, well, if you want to be in the world, you see, what will keep you safe and secure is your firm grip on me, on my name, on my keeping me as your companion, you see, like holding on to my skirt or my robe. So that's why he always wanted us to hold on to his Dharma, to completely depend upon him. That doesn't mean that you should not act on your own. Just as the child wandered through the fair and enjoyed everything and did ask people and did come in contact with so many thousands of people and everything was there. But didn't get lost. He was holding on to the mother.
Jai Baba, folks. So, Eruch tells us about all the main topics, how to love Baba, and what does it mean to say to hold on to his Daman. That video has many answers, for different topics. I keep coming back to it. Now, we have 5 more minutes, and I have a religious prayer. I will play that, and also I have one small reading. So you guys will like this. I got this from Beloved's archive. Let me get the copy. It's just to read on the lighter side. This is a special on Eruch, this edition, and it has 2 dreams of Eruch he had before coming to Baba. Okay, I will have to check. Yeah. A few months before the whole family left Mary Lodge forever at the beginning of August 1938, Eruch had 2 interesting dreams. Actually, they occurred 15 days before he received his first direct communication from Baba, and as it were, signaled the beginning of their departure from Nagpur and joining Baba. Eruch had applied for and been accepted in the renowned Engineering College of Benares, but before departing, he had a summer vacation. During this period, he had these 2 dreams, which he said was unusual because he rarely saw dreams. In the first dream, Baba has come to the house, and in his dream, Eruch sees Baba holding the hands of his father and mother, and beside them are his sisters, with his young brother Meherabad in front, and they are all coming out of the house. At this point, Baba turns his back and says, "Is there any food stuff in the house?" Eruch hears his mother's voice replying, "There is a lot of milk." Baba turns to Eruch and tells him, "Put all the milk in a ditch, clean the vessel and put it back, close all the doors and windows and come out. Hurry, run." They then went out of the house, and Eruch, after doing as ordered by Baba, followed. That was the first dream. The next night, Eruch had a second dream, and this time he used the word horrifying to describe it. He was driving Baba, driving fast, and yet Baba kept urging, "Faster, faster." Eruch said that in the dream he was conscious of noise, of speed, of danger, and of Baba urging him to drive on and on. Suddenly they came to the brink of an ocean, but Baba continued to insist on Eruch driving on, and they went through the ocean. Eruch was sweating with the effort and with the anxiety, not, as he said, for fear of his life, but in responsibility for this man sitting alongside him. What would people say of him if anything happened to Baba? And all this time, Eruch was driving, drenched in sweat, frightened to death. Now, darkness came in the dream, and all through the night, the car went on and on. Then, in the dream, the dawn came, and in the distance was a small building, very white and shining. Baba seemed happy and pointed to it. It was a little building with a dome. At the same time, the car came to the beach and stopped. The car stopping at the beach, and at the dome was such a shock that Eruch woke up. He was exhausted, drenched in sweat, and the bed too was wet with sweat, as though he had actually been driving the car all night. And then it says, within 15 days after this second dream, a telegram came from Meher Baba saying to come immediately to him at Panchgani. And it continues the story. But I felt it somewhat special, those dreams, to share with y'all. It's 12:30. So our last item I would like is the prayer of Eruch. Let us see if I can just click it again.
Beloved Baba, I remain beholden to you for everything that you have done for me. In spite of what I am and how I am, you have always overlooked my weaknesses. You have forgiven me all my trespasses. You have never once chastised me. On the contrary, you have always showered me with your love upon me and your graces upon me. I have no words to express my gratitude, but to utter, oh Baba, oh Baba, oh Baba. I am grateful to you for everything. I remain grateful to you forever and ever. Oh Baba, I beseech you, implore you, and beg of you. Never, never, ever let me down, Baba. Never, ever let me down. Never, ever reject me. But accept me as I am and how I am. Beloved Baba, I remain beholden to you for everything that you have done for me. Oh Baba, I beseech you, implore you, and beg of you. Never, never, ever let me down. Oh Baba, guard me and guide me and help me. Hold my hand and lead me on to the very end. Fill me with your love from top to bottom. Fill me with your love from side to side. Fill me with your love inside and outside, so that your love pervades and permeates me, so that your love engulfs and envelops me, and all it is your love and not I. Beloved Baba, I remain beholden to you for everything that you have done for me. Oh Baba, I beseech you, implore you, and beg of you, never, never, ever let me down. Oh Baba, I beseech you, implore you, and beg of you, never, never, ever let me down.
Jai Baba, folks. That's the end of our program today.
Hey, Baba.
Jai Baba.
Thanks, Meher. That was lovely.
You liked it. I tried to put things which are difficult or not readily seen in regular sources. So some things I was also learning in the process.
Wonderful. Thank you
Thank you.
for hosting.
Thank you, guys. Jai Baba.
Yes,
Thank you,
so
Meher
much.
Kiran. It was a beautiful presentation and so
Thank you,
touching.
Baba.
Thank you, Rosa. Marlin, thank you. I see you also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Baba.
Hey, Baba.